Socrates, Steve Jobs, Leonardo da Vinci, Gandhi. What do all of these individuals have in common? What has made them so special throughout the years? Well, even though there are thousands of different answers to these questions, many believe that these questions can be answered with one word: minimalism. So some of you out there, much like myself not that long ago, might be wondering, what is minimalism? To give you the short answer, it is defined by Merriam-Webster as a style or technique, as in music, literature, or design, that is characterized by extreme spareness and simplicity. Although it was originally used as a way to describe art, many people today are starting to see this word as a way to describe a lifestyle. A lifestyle in which an individual puts less value on materialistic objects or ideas, and more value on experiences. They do this by evaluating the purpose of an object or an idea. Gandhi once reflected this idea of minimalism with this quote that reads, "Live simply, so others may simply live." Leonardo da Vinci once said, "Simplicity is ultimate sophistication." I've noticed that all of these individuals, and the others mentioned earlier, have been deemed wise, famous, and/or wealthy. Although they have all gained a high amount of praise, they chose to live a more simplistic lifestyle. And so I wanted to get to the bottom of minimalism to see if it actually works, even for me, an average broke college student. After binge watching a lot of content from Matthew Vella and Nathaniel Drew, I started to realize that I can kind of implement some of their practices into my life. I also started to notice that my life was starting to fill up with a lot of useless things. These were all things that I really did not need. When I moved into my dorm, both me and my family thought that I needed 2 of everything. Then I looked at my messy desk one day full of office supplies that I have not used all semester. And then I looked at my closet full of clothes, half of which I never wore, and wondered why my dorm is so messy. This environment was starting to make me feel unmotivated. So to give you a more specific example, let's say I had an essay to write. But then I would look at my messy desk, knowing well that I would get extremely distracted by the disaster that was on my desk. I would then go do my homework on the couch. Since I know that I am an individual of habit, I know for certain that if I am on a couch, I will either A. watch Netflix, or B. take a nap, which completely defeats the purpose in the first place and just sends me right back to square one. All of these observations were helping me realize that I too should be more mindful of what I am allowing to be in my space in order to break this cycle. I chose the 30-day minimalist challenge, where you essentially just get rid of the same amount of items as that day. So for example, on day 1, you get rid of 1 item, day 2, you get rid of 2 items, day 3, 3 items, and so on and so forth until you've reached the end of the month. In the end, you should end up with over 400 items. Although I was doubtful that I really had that many things to get rid of in such a small space, I was willing to give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 5 days proved to be the easiest. I started out with simple things like old notebooks that I know I would never use, shoes that have been either too uncomfortable to wear or actually falling apart at the seams. 6, 7, 8, 9. Although it did take a little more time out of my day, it seemed surprisingly easy to find things to get rid of on these days. Once I thought that I had decluttered as much as I could from areas like my desk and office, I started to branch out and go through random junk drawers and electronics that I have noticed I rarely use. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Double digits is where things started to get a little more difficult. I remember thinking on day 13, there is no way that I would have 13 things around here that I did not need. The next thing that I knew, I had a total of 13 hair and face masks that I know that I would never use, because I have learned that the chemicals in most of them do more harm to my sensitive skin than good. 16, 17, 18. I knew that I wanted to tackle my closet when it got to the higher numbers. Moving into my dorm, I was extremely unorganized when packing my clothes. I didn't know what to bring, so I decided to bring it all. Well, it turns out that now that I'm in college, I only wear business casual or sweatshirts. There is really nothing in between. So all of those t-shirts and dresses that I thought would be useful are honestly going to either be repurposed, brought back home, or donated, because they are just not practical in my life anymore. The biggest red flag, for me at least, was seeing that most of these types of items still had tags on them. To put it like Marie Kondo, they do not spark joy anymore. 172. 172 items in my life were unnecessary and taking up space in my dorm room. This visual way of assessing the items that I will choose to get rid of led me to a lot of realizations about myself and the idea of minimalism. And here are some things I learned. 1. Don't let others or the media tell you that you are not a minimalist. Although I technically failed the challenge, I don't think there's really a right or wrong way to do minimalism as a whole. Minimalism is subjective and is what you make of it. You can be a minimalist and have thousands of items, or you can be a minimalist and you only have 10 items. If you truly believe that you need every single item that you possess because it serves a specific purpose, then do not let anyone tell you that you are not a minimalist. 2. Numbers don't matter. No matter what, there is always going to be something that you need. And the decluttering process should not be a numbers game, where one magic number will make you a minimalist. I personally have way too many books that I haven't even put a dent in reading yet. But did I get rid of them just to reach the number count? No, because every single one of those books adds inspiration and sparks joy in my life. In conclusion, this 30-day minimalism challenge is more of a fun way to get you started. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to be perfect at the challenge. As long as you tried your best and made a conscious effort in the process, then you are well on your way to minimalism. I know for me at least, this is just the beginning.